This news program is proudly brought to you by Smart Start Breakfast Biscuits and Now Biscuits.
Opposition responds to 2023 national budget. Central Province Governor oppose Connect PNG program. And Southern Highlands leaders take a stand for action. Good evening. You're watching National EMTV News. I'm Grace Papiali. Thank you for joining us. The opposition side of the House has responded to the national budget this morning at the Parliament sitting. The Shadow Treasury Minister and Deputy Opposition Leader Douglas Tomoriesa responded to the government. He has highlighted some of the key areas that his team was not pleased with regarding the 2023 budget.
Minister of the Treasury now, I'm going to give him a...
There were a lot of things pointed out by the opposition side this morning. Shadow Treasury Minister Douglas Tomoriesa says the opposition side will always be there to work with the government. He highlighted few of the things like the 25% increase in the tax rate for commercial banks and also foreign exchange reserves.
As their representatives, with care and consideration of the goals set by the founding fathers of our nation, one of our duties as parliamentarians is to scrutinize very carefully every bill, including the budget bill, that the executive arm of government wants to pass.
He also asked the members of parliament to question the 2023 budget for the good of everyone and keep things accurate. Tomoriesa also raised concerns on the prices of basic goods and services.
That the country is awash with foreign exchange, and that it has 13 billion worth of foreign exchange, whereas just as everyone knows, in recent days and even in recent days, large multinational companies like Puma, Coca-Cola, Diesel have been complaining about being unable to repatriate their profits. Such misleading statement.
Minister for Finance Renbo Paito says they are taking note of the opposition's response.
Much of it from the opposition, it has been criticizing our budget, but that's the work of the opposition and we take note of it. Things like bringing back some of the reforms that we did as government, such as the position of the Chief Secretary, some of the reforms like non-tax revenue bill. Mr. Speaker, our good spokesman on the opposition was part of the government that ended down the PMMR Act.
There were also debates by other members of the parliament, both from the government and opposition side. Samantha Solomon, National EMTV News.
Governor for East Sepik Province, Alan Bed, gave his response to the national budget, where he thanked the Marape-Rosso government for a fair budget distribution to all the districts and the allocations to the law and order sector.
A lot of replies came from both the opposition and the government in response to the 2023 national budget allocation. East Sepik Governor Alan Bed in his response said that the budget allocation is a fair budget under the Marape-Rosso government.
Time, Mama Law, you may been writing plenty time. You missing out law fair and equitable distribution. Now me like talk also this la budget and me come up in this place. So me like talk thank you long Marape-Rosso government.
Governor Bed also thanked the government for the increase in the budget for law and order. He requested if there can be some form of accountability in using such a big amount of money so that everyone will know where all these funds go and how it is being used.
Time Commissioner ikisim budget belong him na yupla allocate him. How much yupla spend him inside lo ECP kia? Please talk sawe. How much yupla spend him lo Western Highlands? Please talk sawe. Mipla all province mas sawe how much yupla police department the plan lo spend him lo province lo mipla so mipla too can come na holim hand one time yupla lo solve him this la problem bring him down law and order lo country. Passing blo hire him car blo police please and must stop. Mi hamamas too lo increase blo law and justice sector budget go lo 232 million.
He also commended the government for the inclusion of the budget repair. Samantha Solomon, National EMTV News.
Central Province Governor Honorable Rufina Peter, in yesterday's Parliament sitting, strongly opposed the national government's plan to connect the Highlands and Momase region to the nation's capital through the Connect PNG program. Governor Peter said the main reason for this concern is due to the continuous land grabbing and rising law and order issues in the province.
In Port Moresby and Central.
Governor Peter said the central government and its people fully support the government's plan to upgrade and maintain roads in the province, but not connecting the rest of PNG to Central Province as yet.
Connecting the stated missing link will most likely result in negative consequences significantly outweighing the benefits for the people of Central Province. Mr. Speaker, while I understand the importance of the Connect PNG program, I believe it is prudent to maintain and upgrade existing roads within the province to the national highway status and to dialogue with provincial governments on the readiness for connecting the missing link.
Governor Peter called on the government to consult the provincial and district governments in such programs. In response, Minister for Works and Highways Solian Mirisim said the Connect PNG program is made to connect the rest of the country and not just one province.
Ting blo Connect PNG emi enoblong one blaha province tasol you work in maintenance na all people in Sela have to solve Roniko Kamlo province belong all to solve. Has ting blo Connect PNG blo linki ma Papua New Guinea.
Deputy Opposition Leader Douglas Tomuriesa, in support of the central governor, called for proper dialogue between state departments and provincial and local level governments on program like this.
There must be close consultation between the Department of Works. You are doing a fantastic job, but you need more consultation with the provinces. Number one. So consultation is very important, and also to make certain that the priorities of the provinces and the districts are built into Connect PNG.
Tomuriesa also added that roads captured in the Connect PNG program must be of economic significance and must contribute to the economy of those respective areas. Sharon Engnui, National EMTV News.
The National Capital District Governor Powers Pakop addressed his question to the Minister for Tourism, Arts and Culture, Hisi Henry Leonard, as to what the Tourism Promotion Authority and his ministry are doing to promote the Kokoda Trek. Governor Pakop asked if there are marketing and promotional strategies in place to market the product overseas.
NCD Governor Powers Pakop questioned the minister responsible as to what the ministry, together with the Tourism Promotion Authority, are doing to promote the Kokoda Trail.
What plans, if any, does your ministry and PNG TPA have to celebrate the deeds of Papuan Infantry Battalion, New Guinea Infantry Battalion in the epic Battle of Kokoda? So again, to leverage it to promote this very important product and tourism generally in our country.
In response, Minister Hisi Henry Leonard said that TPA always maintains that Kokoda Trail is the #1 tourism product in PNG. He said it gives the numbers in terms of tourist arrivals to PNG and contributes to the country's economy and spin-off benefits to the communities along the Kokoda Trail.
TPA has and will continue to assist the locals along the track to improve the quality of the tourism product and services along the track with very limited funding that TPA gets annually.
Minister Leonard said that on average the Kokoda Trail attracts 4,000 tourists, especially from Australia, sourced market in every year to experience the tough terrains as a pilgrimage to honour those that fought along the track.
The enhancement of Kokoda Trail as a tourism product aims to ensure that basic soft infrastructure required by tourists along the trail is accessible to make the experience seamless while keeping the ambience of the product.
To answer the governor's question, Minister Leonard said TPA is working closely with its marketing and production team to promote this important product in Australia to attract tourists into the country. Godwin Eki, National EMTV News.
Major General Paul Knapp from the U.S. Wisconsin Guard today signed a memorandum of understanding for a partnership with Chief of PNG Defense Force Major General Mark Goyner. It is a state partnership program through which the U.S. National Guards and the PNGDF will carry out civic duties relating to natural and man-made disaster and civil unrest in its efforts to safeguard PNG.
Major General Paul Knapp from the U.S. Wisconsin Guard in his opening speech highlighted that the state partnership program existed due to the transnational challenges that are not limited within the borders and encouraged the coalition of nations to address the shared challenges. General Knapp emphasized that this partnership remains important to the U.S. and a perfect opportunity to contribute to a peaceful Pacific.
SPP is the perfect opportunity for both Papua New Guinea and the great state of Wisconsin to contribute to a peaceful Pacific. This partnership is not just a military one, it's also between our emergency response organizations. Natural disasters can devastate a community, its people, and vital infrastructure at any time.
General Knapp outlined that similarly to the PNGDF, they will stand ready to serve neighbors and nations in their time of need.
The Papua New Guinea Defense Force, we stand ready to serve our neighbors, community, state, and nation in their time of need. We are going to do great work together. Our efforts at home through the pandemic and other emergencies have tested us, and we have learned so much. We look forward to many years of engagement between our two organizations.
Chief of PNG Defense Force Major General Mark Goyner acknowledged the long existing bond between the two countries during the war.
Relationship between Papua New Guinea and Wisconsin was forged in blood 80 years ago when Wisconsin 32nd Red Arrow Infantry Division arrived in Port Moresby in 1942. It is very true that young men from Wisconsin fought alongside the people of Papua New Guinea at Bona, Saido, and Haitaipe. And yes, those battles were fought over some of the world's toughest terrain and against a determined enemy.
General Goyner pointed out that this partnership is not just a military one. He added that the expertise they bring in terms of emergency response and humanitarian relief will be very beneficial to the PNGDF. He added that this partnership is good for the promotion of the region's security within the Pacific and because of our unique geographical location within Southern Asia.
It is clear that since its inception, the program has helped to minimize many of the transnational challenges that exist. It does take coalition of partner nations to solve shared challenges. Therefore, for Papua New Guinea, the chance to be part of this great program and to contribute to regional and international peace and stability is important.
Sharon Engnui, National EMTV News.
National EMTV News continues after the break. Stay with us. You're watching National EMTV News. The governor for Southern Highlands Province, William Powie, has acknowledged Bernard Kaku, who was challenging him in the Court of Disputed Returns. Kaku has withdrawn his election petition this week to leave out the challenge. The Southern Highlands leaders present at the meeting where Governor William Powie, member for Mendi Muniu Raphael Tonpi, member for Nipa Kutubu Dr. Billy Joseph, and Bernard Kaku. Southern Highlands Province during the recent 2022 national general elections has adopted a number of election-related violence. This resulted in a number of death and violence, burning of state assets and private properties, and ongoing fighting. After the elections, Governor William Powie retained his seat, which saw 3 candidates challenging him in the Court of Disputed Returns. Bernard Kaku is one of the 3 election petitioners who were challenging Powie in the Court of Disputed Returns. The other 2 election petitioners are Peter Nupiri and Augustine Rapa. Bernard Kaku earlier this week has withdrawn his election petition against Powie.
I understand Nupri and Augustine will pursue their case. It's their democratic right. I, as an individual, my petition is my own, together with my supporters. So with due respect to the supporters, I have sought a wider consultation and I have withdrawn.
In response, Governor Powie acknowledged the bold move made by Kaku and said he is confident that there will be peace restoration now that the province will witness the leaders stand in unity to solve the issues and recent disruptions in the province.
Bernard Kaku, who were my great opponents from 2017, are now here supporting the leadership. That's why I think the province will come out from this background of infighting, politicking, and we will save our people for the greater good.
Powie further added that with support given by all members of the electorates of the province, there is stability in leadership.
The Honorable Rafael Tonpi and the Honorable Dr. Billy and Honorable Member for Kagwarabe, Honorable Mainopana, and Honorable Member for Imbongu and Minister for Attorney General, Minister Ninigi, they're showing great sign of unity and stability in the leadership, and it gives me greater comfort that I've never experienced in the last 2 terms.
The other MPs present were member for Mendi Muniu, Rafael Tonpi. Tonpi calls on the supporters and others to stop the troubles and return to normalcy.
Today, Mibla Olgara Southern Highlands leaders stop Baksat long, Governor Powie. Mibla like him, Senis must come up. Province Ploibi must, Senis. All development must come. All school must operate. All housing Ploibi must go. All big development in Setlo, Southern Highlands. Time we get unity, Mibla can carry me in Setlo, many Southern Highlands. So.
Member for Nipa Kutubu shared the same sentiments.
People move around freely. Stop the roadblocks. Let our people come to Mendi town and access their services. Stop the harassment. Put the guns away. Put the bush knives away. This is the time now. For the first time in Southern Highlands, we have all the open members who are standing behind our governor.
Meanwhile, candidates who contested the Southern Highlands provincial seat in the 2022 national general election gathered yesterday in Port Moresby to raise issues they would want to pursue in court. Issues identified were the victimization of candidates, no data entry results given during election, special circumstances, and other civil rights issues that were breached.
2 main areas upon which the contested candidates in the 2022 elections came together yesterday to highlight areas of concern that transpired where certain constitutional laws were breached, leaving the candidates aggrieved. Through a civil proceeding, the candidates are willing to get the National Court to invoke Section 23 of the Constitution. A writ of summons was filed against the Electoral Commissioner and the state based on candidates not informed on their progressive tally in a transparent manner in the 2022 National General Election.
It's a case against the Electoral Commissioner and the Electoral Commission and the state. Basically, the crux of the case is that we candidates were not informed of the progressive tally insofar as the Southern Highlands regional election is concerned. And to date, even after declaration of Mr. Powie, that progressive tally has not been revealed by Mr. Simon Sinai.
Awesa said as a lead plaintiff and the other candidates who contested the last election in Southern Highlands, the case could be helpful to the rest of the country based on the fact that to date, since the 2017 general election, a special circumstances has been repeated again as far as the Southern Highlands election is concerned.
The court, the writ of summons is essentially based on breach of constitutional rights,
right to information, right to be elected as a leader. All of these things have been affected simply because of the conduct of Mr. Simon Sinai and the Electoral Commission and the election manager, Jimmy Alwyn, failing to do their duties and responsibilities safely and fairly as they preached about.
They feel that they have been deprived of their rights to be elected. Another plaintiff, Philip Emble, said as they look forward to filing this case under the human rights courts, he questioned that on what figures and results was the current governor for Southern Highlands, William Poe, declared. He added that scrutineers and candidates were never invited or given explanations as to how the declarations were made, which has led to them bringing the matter to the court. He said candidates lost millions of kina and resources during the election. As plaintiffs, they say the law does not give the Electoral Commissioner the right to announce a special circumstance and declare a candidate to enter the parliament, and that it is the Constitution that mandates the people.
We also, just in addition, we are also seeking as a relief for Simon Sinai personally to be liable for imprisonment for 10 years. That's what we're asking the court to do, because we want it as a deterrent. Somebody who's in high office, especially from Southern Islands, must be seen to be dishing out free and fair election and exercising his constitutional duties in the rightful way, and not giving us the progressive tally we feel is depriving our rights.
Godwin Eki, National EMTV News.
Prior to the launching of the coffee ministry in Jiwaka province next week, Friday, the 9th of December, Coffee Industry Corporation Board of Directors Deputy Chairman for Coffee Growers Jack Kulam announced that preparations are underway in Jiwaka province. He has appealed to all coffee growers and youth to attend the significant launching for the coffee ministry, where they will see the coffee minister and member for Anglim South Wagi Joe Cooley and Prime Minister James Marape attending to officiate this groundbreaking event. Under the leadership of the Marape Rosso government, the new Ministry for Coffee was established. This has seen the urgency for plants and development. Small coffee growers were urged in coffee farming and companies to export coffee beans to generate income. A significant high demand has seen the new ministry injecting almost 10 million kina recently to move this giant cash crop commodity industry in Papua New Guinea. The Deputy Chairman for the Coffee Industry Board of Directors for Jiwaka and Western Highlands Province, Jack Kulam, was proud to make the announcement that preparations are underway for the biggest launching of the Coffee Ministry that will eventuate next week, Friday, the 9th of December. He has made an appeal to all coffee growers in the Highlands region, including youth, to attend.
Milak encouraging all the farmers, coffee farmers, Long Island region. You start Namelo Simbuna, Western Islands, Jiwaka, Henga, Southern Islands. Milak and Baby must come. Lot is launching. Now you must have along what is coffee. Now purposeful coffee, not you must have it.
He further emphasized the importance of growing coffee.
Coffee used to be just, thing was one black crop, cash crop, nothing. But coffee and one black, very, very important commodity. Where you mean grow him, crop you mean grow him, export him, it's exportable and marketable. And it's planting money comes to the country.
Kulam has also announced that they have partnered with Fatima Secondary School in Jiwaka province, where they have given them coffee curriculum as an initiative.
I've taken an initiative, now we are arranging with them Catholic Mission of Fatima. Now, Fatima by growing, we are starting nursery business, so all CIC workman only starting business nursery. We are arranging now working, so this will be a first time as a partnership program. Namelo Mission Nangaman.
And now looking at the Nest Fund market report, the Kina closed unchanged at $0.2840 in the interbank market. At Bank South Pacific, your Kina was buying $0.2765 $0.4027 Australian dollars, $0.2553 euro, and 36.98 Japanese yen. Looking at commodity prices at New York close, gold is trading lower, coffee closed lower, copper closed higher, copra closed lower, palm oil closed lower, crude oil is trading lower, copper closed higher. On the stock market, the Dow Jones closed lower, the ASX 200 is trading lower, the All Ordinaries is trading lower. National EMTV News continues after the break with more stories. Stay with us. Welcome back to National EMTV News. Prime Minister James Marape today challenged Papua New Guineans whose children are attending grades 8 to 12 to invest in their children's education. He said the government has made it possible for 55,000 children to go back to study through the Ford education. Marape's speech comes after he was questioned on the floor of Parliament by Morobe Governor Luther Wenge about children's rights to proper education in the country.
Governor for Morobe Province Luther Wenge, when addressing the Parliament, spoke on the importance of education for young Papua New Guineans. He said in order for Papua New Guineans to have access to better learning, the government must provide other avenues so that no one is left behind. He questioned if PNG should be sending more young Papua New Guineans abroad for studies.
You can bring him some science teachers too, mathematics teachers too. You can send overseas come inside. Long improve him quality. Quality belong students long 1-1 high school. Now 1-1 secondary school.
In response, Prime Minister James Marape said the government has provided opportunity for 55,000 students that have dropped out from year 8, 10 and 12 to have a second chance through Ford.
Melagaski Mokara Pikin Limi said you lose in grade 8, grade 9, grade 10, grade 11, grade 12. You start a place, you had them through the Islam media. You know, monkey nothing, marry nothing, boy nothing, girl nothing. You got named by this country.
Marape added that providing opportunities for young Papua New Guineans to be sent abroad is also something the government has considered.
We started the first batch of specialized high result science students into our School of Excellence. This year we are graduating the first batch from DISPLA all intake in 2020 grade 10 exam.
Prime Minister Marape also challenged parents of children who have dropped out of year 8, 10 and 12 to consult with their district administrators to support their children financially so that they can go back to school and continue their education. Godwin Eki, National EMTV News.
A new 16-in-1 double-story state-of-the-art classrooms for Waigani Christian Academy was opened recently by Director and Member for North Wagi, Benjamin Moole. The double-story building includes science laboratories and was built at a cost of 4 million kina and will be used to build capacity building for students from early childhood up to middle school and high school.
Situated at the foothills of Waigani Heights is the Waigani Christian Academy, home to more than 2,000 students, with more expected to come in the 2023 academic year. To cater for this increase, Director and MP for North Wagi, Benjamin Moole, built from his personal funds a brand new 16-in-1 classroom at a cost of 4 million kina.
What I'm doing here, you see these places here, these rocks were cut down. And I mean it. And the classrooms that I built them here, it's not in Jiwaga, you see, it's in Mosby. I will go back to Jiwaga, but I'm serious in providing education and putting up very strong, permanent buildings for the children of Papua New Guinea. So now I built 16-in-1. There's no 16-in-1 classrooms in Papua New Guinea. They have 4-in-1 or 2-in-1. But I built 16-in-1.
The North Wagi MP said it was his passion to develop and educate the human resource of the nation, and it was this dream that started the school in 1993 with only 13 students.
I went to school, but that time I didn't have proper parents to look after me. So I left grade 6 and stayed out for 5 years and became Sunday school teacher. And I didn't get any formal education. I went through informal education. And then I came to university. And during my third year practical time, I started the school with 13 kina forget allowance, with 13 students down at the church. And then the school grew. And then it became big. When I finished my university, I became principal and then became director. In 2007, I contested and I went for election and I won the election.
Mr. Moore revealed that he only had formal education up to Standard 6 and saw the importance of education, and 3 decades later, Waigani Christian Academy is still churning out school leavers and students who need a second chance at education. This, Mr. Moore said, is his contribution to nation building.
Everything is going to be here, but as long as I'm alive and God bless me, and if I have something with me, I have to share with others and become agent of change. This is the purpose of life I'm here on this earth. Many people, they think about themselves. They want to build themselves up, but they are not going to live for too long. This thing is not going to help them too.
The North Wagi MP also revealed that he will be upgrading the status of schools in his district to secondary level, and as an MP, will be looking at opening some new facilities in high schools in his electorate. Rocky Iso, National EMTV News.
The National Cultural Commission has signed a Memorandum of Understanding with the Autonomous Region of Bougainville Government at Holiday Inn in Port Moresby. This is the 6th MOU signing in continuation with the works of National Cultural Commission in establishing and reviving cultural centers in and around the country. The Minister for Tourism, Arts and Culture, E.C. Henry Leonard, said the MOU signing with various provincial governments paved the way for them at the national level to work in partnership with them to bring cultural arts services and development to them.
Present at this small but significant event was Minister for Tourism, Arts and Culture, Executive Director for National Cultural Commission, Stephen Kilanda, agency heads and staff of National Cultural Commission, Tourism Promotion Authority and National Museum and Art Gallery for Autonomous Bougainville Government. The Managing Director of the National Cultural Commission, Stephen Kilanda, said they have signed MOUs with 5 provincial governments, and they are Milne Bay, Enga, Medang, Western, East New Britain, Central, and this is the 6th MOU with the Autonomous Region of Bougainville. He says they are signing this MOU purposely to implement the 10-year policy that they have developed.
Developed the 10-year policy for the first time in the country, and also the first one in the Pacific, including Australia and New Zealand. They don't have one as yet, but PNG is fortunate to have the National Cultural Commission, National Cultural Policy under the National Cultural Commission in place. Autonomous Region of Bougainville is, the government is the very important partner to implement our 10-year policy.
Kilanda said the signing of MOU will strengthen them to go the next level and deliver the cultural services in the Autonomous Region of Bougainville. Minister E.C. Henry Leonard said the MOU also ensures the provinces take ownership of the arts, cultures, cultural establishments, assets, facilities, cultural sites, and cultural events and programs in their provinces.
Actually identifies our shortfall. And our shortfallness is basically we were not setting in order of importance and priority that is related to the indigenous people of this country. Our priority was always tagged and associated with things.
The Minister for Community Development in the Autonomous Bougainville Government, Maurice Opeti, said the signing of MOU is a dream come true and promoting culture creates opportunities for them.
By signing this MOU, by opening big plateau na, give opportunity to people, all Bougainvilleans, long gadim dislike sesa, long sharing all cultural activity between long two plangaman.
Minister Leonard believes this MOU will go a long way in safeguarding, protecting, developing and promote our people's cultural heritages in the region. Esther Gane, National EMTV News.
National EMTV News continues after the break with Trukai Sports. Stay with us.
Trukai Sports.
Welcome to Trukai Sports. Following the recent announcement of the SPPNG Hunters, the team has been busy preparing ahead of next year's Host Plus Cup season. The team is mostly made up of players from last year's season and some from the 2022 Digicel Cup season, all identified and scouted into the train-on squad to next year's Host Plus Cup season. Currently, the players are in Port Moresby and have been attending meeting every Thursday since last season of the Host Plus Cup in Queensland. Some of the players have been fortunate to get scouted in other clubs in Queensland. The regional youth games for the New Guinea Islands have been postponed to 2024. The games was initially agreed to be hosted in Kokopo in December 2022, following the success of the inaugural Papua Regional Youth Games held in Alatau District, Milne Bay Province, in April of this year. However, the Games is now deferred due to the rise in law and order issues and prolonged drought in both East and West New Britain provinces. Focus will now be shifted to consultations for the regional youth games in the Momase and Highlands regions, earmarked for 2023. The Regional Youth Games Council is appealing to the youth in the NGI region to register with the LLG Youth Councils in their respective districts to participate in youth sports associated activities and prepare well for the next games in 2024. In that same year, the Southern region will be celebrating its second games, which will be hosted by Central Province. And Trukai Sports continues after the break with more sports stories. Stay with us.
Trukai Sports.
You're watching Trukai Sports. Moving overseas now, Japan have caused yet another upset as they beat for work champion Spain this morning. PNG time.
2-1, and in doing so, they advanced through to the last 16 along with their beaten opponents. So Japan were 1-0 down. They staged their second massive comeback of the World Cup when they knocked off the 2010 champions. They scored two quick goals, I think, within 3 minutes of each other. Spain looked like they were in complete control in the first half, but they suddenly found themselves clinging to their chance of staying in the World Cup as Costa Rica and Germany battled out their own drama in the other Group E match. The breathtaking 2-1 win for Japan, who also knocked off Germany 2-1 after coming from behind in their opening match of the tournament, meant that they topped Group E, followed by Spain in second, who finished ahead of third place Germany only on goal difference. So, yeah, there was so much happening. If Spain beat Japan, Germany, because Germany won 4-2, they were through.
And that ends Trukai Sports. The Money Plus weather report for the next 24 hours is next. Stay with us.
Trukai Sports. Trukai Sports.
This weather update is proudly brought to you by MoneyPlus, with you always.
Now we take a look at the weather forecast for the next 24 hours. In the southern region, Port Moresby City, cloudy periods with few showers and possible thunderstorms. Daru, cloudy with some showers and thunderstorms. Kerema, cloudy with few showers and thunderstorms. Alotau, cloudy periods with few showers. And Popondetta, cloudy with some showers and possible thunderstorms.
The weather update was proudly brought to you by MoneyPlus, with you always.
And that wraps up the news for Friday, the 2nd of December 2022. From all of us here, safe weekend, pleasant viewing, and bye for now.
This news program was proudly brought to you by Smart Start Breakfast Biscuits and Gold Nuggets.